Hi, Carl here for Pro AV TV. I'm at IBC 2018 at the Kino Flo stand talking to Frida. Okay, great to see you again, Frida.
It's a pleasure, Carl.
What are we looking at? What's new?
We're introducing some new items for our Freestyle family. Now, the Freestyle is a ballast, a 150-watt ballast that covers a range of products. It can do panels. We've had a number of panels in the past, and now we're introducing a tube. So, tube and also a few smaller panels to sort of flesh out the family. Unique aspect of the tube is now, instead of it just being 180 degree of light emission, we're talking about 310 degrees. We have the ability to provide a wonderful white light quality as well as all the colors that come with it, special effects, all that kind of thing. And the other addition that we have going is we're doing a beta software edition now that'll be open to, we're going to be getting this into certain clients' hands, and that will give us XY coordinates. So if you have a color temperature meter and you're trying to match, say, a wall sconce that has a yellow tone to it or something, you can take that reading as an XY value, put it into this unit, and it'll replicate that light. Same thing if you go and you're trying to match a certain type of daylight quality, you'll be able to match that.
Brilliant for practicals and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other one, which is very revolutionary, is looking at camera lookup tables. So we all know that all cameras are not made the same. So much of the research that's gone into our colorimetry is about understanding the camera, and now we're going to start opening up some of that information in our software. So depending on which camera manufacturer you're working with, you'll be able to dial that in, and it'll automatically optimize its performance for the spectral sensitivity curves of that camera.
Okay, so that's quite cool. So what's that going to look like? So on the back of the panel, you'll basically get Arri, Canon, Sony, that
Correct.
Sort of thing?
Correct.
That's
Correct.
really cool.
Yeah, and as that fleshes out, we'll get more and more specific. Again, it really comes down to trying to get this into a much closer ballpark than we are now. We've always had the ability to adjust green and magenta, because if you see a little green bias, you can always dial in some magenta, that kind of thing. So hopefully this will cut out that necessity, and so once you have your camera of choice, dial in the instrument, and it'll...
Those presets that do that for you.
Yeah.
It's also really nice going back to tubes again, isn't it? It's a full circle. If anyone knows tubes, you do, right?
Exactly. So we're showing a 4-bank, which if you walk by it, you think, oh, it's a regular Kino. But I put it into a color scroll just so people would notice it's not your normal Kino.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about color, because, I mean, obviously, RGB grabs attention, which is, I assume, why you've got every single light on here in RGB. But it's really interesting hearing you guys talk about these aren't RGB lights, these are white lights, yes. Really.
Yeah. So we're operating on the principle of two whites, a tungsten quality and a daylight quality. And the real critical thing here is that they're full spectrum. So we're not just taking off the shelf LED packages. We actually work with partners where we're able to use our knowledge that we had on the fluorescent world, formulating our own spectrum. We've been able to do that now on the LED side. So we're formulating our own packages, full spectrum white, then using the RGB to track the Planckian curve and give us really this full range of full color. So the color side of it, the RGB is sort of a bonus. But our real purpose is to provide really color critical skin tones, no matter what camera you're shooting with.
Absolutely. Now, I noticed some smaller panels at the back. Could you tell me about those?
Yeah. We're looking at a range of products that can be driven off a common ballast. So once you've invested in the ballast, now you're open to running tubes on it. We can do bigger panels, smaller panels. These smaller panels are now for those, again, fleshing out the range. One panel doesn't, task-wise, do everything you need. There are plenty of times you need something smaller. Once you've already invested in a system like this, all you're doing now is just adding another head to it. So having that ability to swap from a larger to a smaller head just makes it all the more versatile and gives you those tools you really need when you're shooting.
It's going to be brilliant for things like backlighting and all the rest of it, hiding them up in the ceilings.
Absolutely. And so we're looking at the Freestyle system as a base that we will continually be adding features and products to it.
Cool. Really excited about them. Thanks so much.
It's a pleasure.